Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the FSL circuit for under AOV, Arena of Valor. And of course, we will be looking into the Thailand games for today and possibly tomorrow as well, I'm not too sure. But anyways, my name's Abstract and with me here is Hades. It looks like you're like dazing off, just looking through.
Just gazing all the way, trying to mesmerize people. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so we are finally here. We finally began after a couple of delays. You know, everyone's just kind of waking up a little bit. So I'm excited to see how this goes, especially for the Thai qualifiers. So we start out the first series of the day, Mamazita versus the Nox Ladies. Alright, so already we see the first 3 picks come out. We see a Sephara. I know you said you wanted to see like a Narkrov counter pick into the Darcy, but then instead out comes Elsu.
Elsu is understandable, but I'm not too favorable about the fact that they picked out Murad instead. Narkrov is definitely going to be a hard counter to Darcy. If Narkrov is not around, then hey, even Chokna is available. You can go for these kind of heroes. So possibly, maybe the second phase they will pick up Chokna, unless our dear friend on the right side, I believe that they are Nox. They might want to ban on Ibanez then. Okay, let's just take a look more into the bans and the picks first. So for the for Team Mamazita side, they actually got a ban on Beldum, Annette, as well as Thane. So Beldum is one of the best supports next to Teamy. And speaking of Teamy, we actually had Hayate Teamy that's being banned out here by Nox as well. So far all these bans, all these picks are pretty okay and pretty normal. They are in meta heroes, but it doesn't seem like they are drafting according to their opponents just yet. I was thinking that maybe, you know, Mamazita might be baiting out the Darcy on the opponent side so that they can pick Chogna or Narkrov.
I mean, maybe they've screamed, we don't have any knowledge about that, but it also looks like Nox have decided to pick up the Narkrov themselves with the deny pick, just making sure that Mamazita can't pick it up. And then I'm actually surprised that Elsu actually managed to get through, just because we usually see Elsu like in the first bans. And you know, ever since the patch, it's been a bit different. Somehow, you know, maybe they feel like on the Nox side, they're okay to deal with Elsu. After Elsu does take quite a bit of time to come online. Sniper not as OP as it used to be. He used to be like what? SS tier?
Yeah, Elsu used to be kind of like SS tier.
Yeah, now he's kind of in that A tier level. So, you know,
it's still
how the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, it's still pretty good. But do note that these games are do not have the global ban pick. So throughout the tournament, we should be seeing the same heroes over and over again, and those heroes most probably will be Sephara, Darcy, Varus, expecting Florentino and Richter being part of that pool as well. But it really depends on how they want to play it, because really, all the heroes in AOV, or rather a lot of heroes of AOV, is really applicable in all kinds of games. Like even Talanas, a lot of people actually see Talanas as one of those basic marksman hero, but yet she's actually part of A tier and above. So it's kind of interesting how this game has went through. And even Violet, Valheim, these are the marksmen that I would never think that I thought that they would never be in the meta, because they're like the newbie heroes, they're like the introductory heroes, but hey, here we are.
I mean, that's the good thing about AOV, is it? I mean, in the end, it just brings you back to your foundation, which is, there's no harm in going back to where you started, and then you realize that, hey, you know, these heroes they're actually pretty good. It's very balanced out. That's the most important part. Sometimes you see like with the high tier, especially the tier system for heroes, you often see like it's often the new heroes which just get OP all the time, and then the older heroes just fall behind. It's good to see that that's not the case. At least it kind of forces you to like rotate your hero pool once in a while, especially every patch. So alright, so there we go. We see the Ryoma, Xenial pick, and alright, no Florentino. Actually, I'm surprised that Florentino. Wait, no, did Florentino?
Richter. The one that's
right,
Richter.
I can't see.
But yeah, you're correct. I was thinking that they might want to have Florentino instead of Ryoma, because most of the time Florentino works better than Ryoma. But I believe that most people play Florentino in the ladder more. But it's like as though we are looking into Caffany. Caffany is really great at ladder, but we don't see Caffany that much in competitive games nowadays. But understandably, we have Ryoma. Ryoma is still a great hero nonetheless. We'll probably see Sephara in mid, Elsu down to the Abyssal Dragon lane. Murad will be in the jungle, and Zenel probably will be helping out with Elsu at the bottom lane. So, sorry, at the Abyssal Dragon lane. And on the other hand, Arum, Darcy, Narcroft, Varus, and Valheim. So typically there are some games that Varus actually goes to mid, but in this case, since they do have Narcroft, Darcy would not be in the jungle. So instead, Darcy will be in the middle lane, Narcroft in the jungle, Varus will be at the Dark Slayer lane, and Arum and Valheim probably is going to be at the Abyssal Dragon lane. But I wouldn't be surprised that Arum will be joining Darcy in the middle lane as well.
I mean, just from the draft alone, it just kind of feels that Nox have the slightly more aggressive early game kind of lineup. And you look at the side of like Mamazita, they have more static lanes, more counter initiation kind of drafts. So I don't know, it feels like these two teams, they kind of have practiced a bit against each other. And from what I understand, and what I heard from Little Bird earlier on, is that, Mamazita, they are the first sponsored all-female AOV team. So, hype. We expect big things from them.
Big hypes, yes.
Big
definitely.
things. So, they have to live up to that hype, Like, will they like smash? Are we going to see that one-sided thing? After it's only the first series of the day. And usually in the early stages of these tournaments, you tend to see the games being a bit one-sided. Let's hope that's not really the case. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just starting to tune in, this is a best of 3 series, Mamazita versus Nox. But who do you favor from the draft so far?
I was about to ask you that question.
I knew that was coming, so I had to ask first before you threw it to my side.
I'm probably gonna give it to Nox. I really like the Darcy pick, and I really like the fact that Narcroft is with Darcy in this team. I really would like to see Chongna or Narcroft in the opponent's side, but that didn't happen. And I feel that Darcy might be steamrolling throughout the entire game because there was no soft counter, there's no hard counter to Darcy at this point. So what they really need to do, what Mamazita really need to do, is to really make sure that they are able to zone out the opponents as much as possible. They go for objectives, try to get the Abyssal Dragon as much as possible. Murad can definitely do that, sure, but having Narcroft there is just going to make things a little bit more difficult with all that knockups, Arum with the damage, and Varus as well. There's so many things that will be coming along from Team Nox. And Valheim with the pocket glaze and also the stuns. Jesus, there's just so much stuns that this marksman can deliver.
I don't know, maybe I'm more marksman biased, so that's why I'm favoring the Elsu pick for Mamazita. Haven't seen that hero every time. I see a competitive game, I just don't see Elsu. It always gets banned, or no one just bothers to pick it up. So in this case, I'm very excited. This is like probably my first Elsu game in a long time.
Oh right.
The last time we saw it was like a casual game.
Yeah, and the one that we casted was like the Southeast Asia qualifiers for the qualifiers, right? So we didn't get to see Elsu, right?
It was always banned, like first phase
banned.
And despite it dropping to A tier, I kind of feel like maybe it's because people haven't yet figured out a way to bring this hero back into its glory. That's what I feel.
In fact, the current hero meta, as what we see now, doesn't seem like it shifted a lot. It's just the fact that Hayate is the triple S ban that everyone must deliver. Hayate is a must ban hero. Timi, how about Timi? How about even Yibaneth? Yibaneth maybe not so much, but I'm thinking of Beldam more. So Beldam, Timi, the most commonly banned tanks. Alice, Roxy, those kind of heroes. Sometimes they slip through the ban, but it doesn't mean that these heroes are actually top priority pick. Most of the time, priority picks are actually Sephira as well as Darcy. So it depends which team wants which. In this case, I thought that Mamazita is baiting out the Darcy on the opponent's side so that they can pick up the Narcroft for themselves, or even pick up the Chaona for themselves. I've been repeating that again and again, but I just want to put a lot more emphasis on the fact that Mamazita did not counter pick against Darcy. That's what I feel.
Also, like, don't forget that, regarding the Darcy pick, remember back then, maybe in the Southeast Asian qualifiers, it was more like, it was kind of like a niche pick. It wasn't like a high priority pick.
Now it is, yeah.
Yeah, now it is. So Nox, clearly they like this hero a lot to first pick it. And for Mamazita's side, I worry for Xenial, because let's face it, they only have that one tank, right? And you have so much damage on the other side, so much control. Look at Nox. I think Mamazita seem to know what's up.
Not too sure if whether this is exactly what Mamazita wants to do, putting Sephira in the jungle, trying to detect all the opponents and also defend our dear old Murad here. So the main thing is to let Murad have all the farm in his life so that he can get to level 4 as soon as possible. to bring himself down to the to the Abyssal Dragon lane and really just farm everything else for his team. But it's going to be pretty difficult for Murad to accomplish all these feats early in the game, especially since, you know, they do not have a lot of map control. Map control is very important for Murad. You need to bounce back and forth from the jungle camps so that you can keep up with the temporal turbulence.
I mean, just as you say that, immediately they kind of ditched the bottom lane for a little bit, trying to defend the jungle just in case, as Nox were looking to try and invade the jungle camps. And just putting that pressure onto. Have we agreed on calling her Is that how we're sticking with?
We're gonna go with Yeah, here we have in the middle lane, uncaged with a single line.
That's a nightmare to cast.
Yeah, my oh my. Well, if we just suddenly forgot what to say, we can just I
mean, so far it looks like Nox, they haven't been able to execute their game plan, which is they've been trying, and they realize that they have to adapt their game plan now, which is they can't invade the jungle camps. They have to more like deal these static lanes. You know, just bumping the challenge. This actually could be the first kill.
Not really. It just seems like Sephiroth is just playing the support at this
point
of
there
time.
We go, chilling.
That is what we're looking for. But in the meantime, take a look at the bottom lane. We do have Murad that is already at level 4, almost getting the kill right on a room.
Oh no, he
looks like the rotations are coming.
Try to flick.
Streaming in rotations all the way from Dark Slayer lane to the middle lane. So Ryoma will be joining in with Elsu at the middle lane here. Narcroft level 5 and
S9. They found Jira.
Temporal turbulence anytime today, and we do have the Dread Judge coming in.
Get away with the flicker.
And the snipe. The snipe almost gotten Narcroft, but unfortunately that didn't happen. The good thing is, Team Nox, they didn't lose any heroes from that fight, or even losing Narcroft himself from trying to steal the Abyssal Dragon. So they didn't lose that much, but it just means that Mamazita have got a better goal advantage
for now. But they also have yet to address the issue, which is Majira's getting quite a lot of farm. He's been free farming away inside, happily getting that really very quick level 6. So can she make anything happen? That's the question. Can she help to create a bit of space, take some of that stress off the teammates? That's EXP wise, they're kind of a bit behind. The gold, they are catching up, but it's mostly on Majira. Like, can she do the 1v5 show? My Brazil trying to get a bit of intel, space. S9 and Rimu gonna be invading in. Jira. Oh, misses the snipe. Alright, so it looks like we'll get that first kill on. Now chasing after My Brazil. It's a trap. 4v2. They're gonna keep on pushing. Found getting the first kill. My Brazil, bam, down he goes. Trying for the snipe, but they're gonna block the shots. Chaylin.
Really unfortunate.
You're facing a bit of issues as they're trying to get into her face. NHG not even gonna bother to dive the tower for it. She's just gonna stick to the last hitting. Chillin.
Uncaged.
Cancels.
Okay, we have one snipe coming in from Chaylin. One shot wonder did not work. Almost getting the snipe out of that room, but she should be fine. She should be fine right inside the bushes, waiting to get himself away. But from all of that team fight, we actually have 3 men down from Team Mamazita.
But that's where you see now the goal has changed. Now it's back even. Although for just a couple of seconds, you see that Nox, they were the ones that hit. And it's good to see that this is what I was referring to, like Majira now that obviously with that level advantage, she needs to be the one to lead the team. They need to play around it basically. My Brazil gets a bit of info, maybe thinking of stealing that jungle creep.
Come on, it does seem like Narcroft will be able to get
a
kill, but in the meantime, here we have the Dimensional Q, and of course, we do have the Temporal Turbulence coming in straight from Murad, but looks like he will be able to get himself away. Narcroft going down at this moment of time with the Wall of Water coming in from Sephiroth. A little bit of utility right there, but doesn't seem like it will make any difference onto Valheim. Middle lane turret will go down very soon, and that is going to be the second objective done by Team Mamazita.
Have we seen much action from the Darcy? Like, I feel like Fang we haven't seen much of her yet.
Yeah, not much. I don't think that we saw Dimensional Portal just yet. Just a lot of Dimensional Cubes and whatsoever. But Darcy should be doing pretty well.
Darcy's actually running over. I think they want to contest this dragon.
They definitely want to contest
They have to.
Kratos.
Also, no, Darcy's not coming.
Varus is just right in the middle of everything. It's going to be a 5v3 that looks as Zanel will be able to get a really nice jump right into the opponent's side. The Temporal Turbulence damage just amazingly onto the whole team. And here we have Uncaged right from the room. This is going to be a hell. It is going to be a disaster right onto Team Nox. 4 men in right onto 1. And even the Temporal Turbulence from Murad will be able to seal the deal right onto Darcy. And that is 4 men down with the Abyssal Dragon for themselves. Looking pretty bad for Nox.
Not sure what was that initiation. I don't think he should have started the fight. They were trying to go for that flashy play, trying to go in and steal the Abyssal Dragon, but that just turned out backfired so hard. And the whole time, Darcy is still top. We haven't seen any impact at all from the Darcy at all. It's been 5 minutes in, not even a rotation. And I kind of thought that they would have contested that for at least for 5v5. Hasn't even attempted to push a tower, which is a bit disappointing. And meanwhile, you see more towers dropping. Mamazita, they are going to be expanding their economy really well. And now they can push for more objectives. It feels like Nox, they need to make something happen, like pick somebody off. They're facing so much pressure right now. Chaelin's doing really well.
It does seem like Team Mamazita really doesn't have the need to be afraid of Darcy. And here we have Murad getting himself away right after Temporal Turbulence, and he's definitely fine. This is just how Murad plays. Extremely slippery, the second Temporal Turbulence, but does not land a single hit onto anyone at all. But Murad, after all, is an assassin that fares really well once he gets fat. So Clave Sanctai is probably going to be the next item that Murad is going to pick out, and is just going to get himself away, will not go down, so that's a good thing. Even though they did lose turrets, it doesn't mean that they should die along with the turrets as well.
Right now, Nox, they don't know this, or maybe they should. They are on the clock. Darcy is still trying to farm. Like the whole time that was happening top lane, Darcy just went straight to the middle, to the bot side, bot half, and just goes to kill more jungle camps. And I guess the question now is, when is she done farming?
Probably never. This is another game of Farmville. We'll see how exactly they want to make things work out. Valheim has been farming a lot, as you can see, about 4,000 net worth. He's the only one that peaked out at 4,000. The next one is Varus, doing pretty decently with 3.6k. It does have the mantle of Ra. It doesn't really make much of a difference just yet. So here we have damage coming from Murad, extremely slippery, just goes in and out of combat just like that. Exactly how you would want to play Murad. Another kill right under a room.
Yeah, they're ditching this. They have to give this up. There's no way to contest. Like, I like how Elsu actually left the trap inside just so they could get the vision in case Nox got in. So they never had any. They were never under any pressure to press for the Abyssal Dragon. And they still maintain their lead, slowly making it even bigger. Now Mino trying to jump here. Olive actually getting destroyed by S9. But S9, will she pay for her sins? Apparently not. Here comes the backup. They're going to keep on chasing. Major does get out. Fang and NHZ. The double kill already comes in. Fang probably going to die here. The dive. Oh, now they're going to go back in. And S9 gets shut down by Fang. There goes the return kill. Darcy finally coming in, but in the end still going down to Rimu. Majura, lots of damage out here, and bang, bang, bang. Alright. I believe that's the middle turret.
Really well played coming in from Team Mamazita. The last turret in the middle lane is almost down to 20% health, or maybe even 10%, who knows. But the main thing is that Team Nox, they really have to defend this as much as they can. The Darkslayer is available after all, so they have to be really careful regarding that, because since they can't even fight for the Abyssal Dragon, what makes them think that they can fight against the Darkslayer? Maybe they can bait out the Darkslayer. Medallion of Troy has been picked up by Zenel, so that's one thing that's going to be added into his arsenal to become a lot more tanky at this moment of time. So I would say that it's going to be extremely difficult for Nox to actually do anything. Take a look at Narcroft, just trying to go straight in. He tries to go for his ult. Doesn't work out for him at all.
So now it just looks like Nox, well, getting caught at the pants down. Major didn't expect to find 4 heroes in her jungle like that, and they're gonna try and stall the game as long as they can. You can see this time it's not the Darcy who's farming. NHZ has taken the burden upon her shoulders to try and catch up, but now she's decided, okay, she's gonna try and rotate in. For the first time, maybe they will take a fight with the numbers in their favor.
The dimensional cube is just going to be using here. We have the Temporal Turbulence damage coming straight in from Murad. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. Murad just needs to farm, make sure that he's getting his level so that the Temporal Turbulence just deals a lot of damage. Tide of Life coming in from Sephra, just going to heal up onto Murad.
There's just too much damage.
Murad gets away with a sliver of health, but here we have Varus. Varus just going to go right into the heart of the enemies and instantaneously melted down into oblivion and completely incinerated, and down 2 or 3 men. A room will be coming up soon.
Questionable initiation. Nox has been then again, the highlight of this game has been, Nox just going in with all these questionable fights, right? They go in one by one. We haven't seen them actually take a proper team fight like this right here. Majir trying to go in by herself, gets destroyed by Rimu.
Good judgment play though. I'll say that.
I think if you're Mamazita right now, I think I have to commend the discipline, which is they've always maintained this spread. We haven't really seen them get CC like you said they would by Nox. Power goes down, Chalen gets another, Fang does get Remu in the end. Not trying to go back S9. Ooh, big damage. But will all of that be enough to take the game yet? It's only a matter of seconds, right? At this point. Space Star's so tanky. Nothing. Fang can't even kill.
Oh, Elsu, damage down right onto Valheim, goes down, and we have Murad trying to get himself away from the grasp of Varus. She's still around.
Space Star.
The turret goes down.
So
Nightcroft. My oh my, the temporal turbulence damage right onto Nightcroft instantaneously just melts him down. There's absolutely nothing that you could do. Even Varus so close to his to a fountain, but in the end still couldn't do anything at all. And now they're just going in straight for the core, and down goes game number 1.
This was definitely a discipline and mechanical skill thing right here.
Yes.
You could tell like Mamazita just outclassed the Nox in every aspect of the game.
The game, there is like 10,000 gold deficit. 10,000 gold deficit, but our dear old Mamazita, they still don't go like they don't overextend themselves so much. They made sure that every single tower is down, be it top, middle, and bottom lane. They clear it down, then they go for the cleanup kill, then onto the core.
I mean, I'm just happy that we see a good Elsu game. It's about time.
About
Chalen
time,
had an amazing game. But the biggest highlight for me about is you don't mention the goal deficit so much. I would say it's back to the early stages of the game where Nox never got to execute their game plan. They tried to adapt, but look at the Darcy, right? We never saw him have any impact at all.
Yeah.
You had all that farm invested into one hero, everybody else was playing dirt poor. Fang had all the resources from both sides of the jungle. And when you take so many resources on the map and your team is not exactly getting any kills, and you don't have any impact afterwards in the mid game, you're just asking for disaster. I'd say Nox, your game plan is if you're gonna fight, you need to fight like as a team, not fighting like going in one by one, feeding it. It's like buy one get one free. Like I go in 1v3, and after you die, your second team is like I'm gonna save you. It's like there's a bit of lag. So Nox needs to work at that.
One thing that is a little bit of a disappointment as well is that we couldn't quite see Nightcroft putting more pressure onto lanes, because we know that we know how slippery Nightcroft is from Jury Fury to literally everything of his skill sets. His cooldowns are low, he's got great mobility, and that just makes him a great hero to just push lanes and fall back as soon as possible. So you can pressure up the top lane while everyone else is like ganking down the bottom lane. You don't join into team fights so early on. The main objective for Nightcroft is actually objectives. So I'm not too sure about what exactly Nightcroft has been doing most of the time. I think that he's been farming in the jungles, wondering about losing sometimes over and over again. So probably that's why Nightcroft didn't even get a single kill.
Probably, but I still boil this down to the most key factor here, which is if you're gonna take fights or even if you're gonna initiate, even these tiny skirmishes we could see, they just seem so indecisive. You need to have that plan. Maybe they just don't have a shot caller. So you often need that IGL to just tell you guys, like tell your team like this is how we go in now. Just go. Don't be afraid of dying. But I think they were so afraid. Like one hero alone was just preventing 3 heroes on the side of Nox back at the first minute from invading the jungle camps. I feel that's wrong. Like when someone is
right?
Yeah, someone is farming and then you have 3 heroes like trying to like going back and forth like, hey, I wanna go to bed, I wanna get out. So you don't make up your mind, just go with it. You have to go with the plan. It's often very common across MOBAs, even as aspiring pro players. Like if it's better to go in as a fist than to go in one finger at a time, you just end up breaking your bones. What?
Moving on. My mind is a little bit elsewhere, so
Dude.
I ain't saying anything.
Alright,
I'm not saying anything.
But then again, okay, maybe I'm not sure. Maybe I could have been too harsh on Nox, and this is the best of 3 series.
Yeah.
They still have a shot of redemption at forcing a game 3.
Mm-hmm.
All they need to do is pull themselves together. Just I would say wake up.
Mm-hmm. I would suppose that right now Nox, they know how valuable like Sephira is because of the early game. Sephira really was able to just lock away the opponent's side. So for Team Nox, they had about 2 heroes, if I'm not wrong, 2 heroes that did like absolutely nothing for the team for like the first 1 minute. And in the meantime, Murad was already at level 3.
I mean, you had 2 cores who were doing nothing for like basically 5 minutes of the game, and that's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
5 minutes may seem like a short time, but in AOV, that's basically an eternity.
That is like the early game.
Yeah,
That's literally the early game.
That's already the mid game. In fact, that's past your laning phase.
That's true. Like the early game is typically below the 3-minute mark, so that is where the foundation is built, where everyone is still level 1 to level 3, because once everyone reaches level 4, breaks in the mid game.
Okay.
That's where the snowball happens.
Alright, so looks like we'll be heading to a quick break. Let the girls kind of discuss what they're going to change. But Nox, they do need the discussion time. So we will see you guys in a bit before we head into game 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the FSL circuit. We do have AOV, we have the game AOV for you guys, and we are looking into the Thailand games. For previous game, that was just game number 1, and we literally just started this series of Nox versus Mamazita. And we're pretty much already in the banning phase, or rather the picking phase already.
Yeah, this is the redemption game for them, right? They, like we said from game 1, they have to force that game 3, they have to play it out of their minds, because what we saw from game 1, that was extremely one-sided. Mamazita just outclassed them. And now this time we're actually looking at different picks and bans mostly. I mean, except for Mamazita, they're sticking to their comfort picks. We see the Murad, My Brazil, no chill. And the Chilean actually playing the Varus this time. We're not even going to see the Elsu ban. They pick up, this is a completely different draft. So maybe they're just styling on Nox at this point. You never know. And Baldum first pick, okay. I haven't seen Baldum first pick in a while actually.
Baldum and Timmy are now the priority picks for support now. So what if Timmy is gone? Then you're definitely gonna get Baldum. Wild Prison, Wild Charge is all really good abilities coming in from Baldum, and you wouldn't really want to underestimate that ability from Baldum. And we're looking back at Sephora. So Mamazita went for Sephora again, and Murad as well. To be fair,
there goes the Elsu ban.
Yeah, to be fair, Murad, they did pretty well with Murad, and I think that they're probably gonna do the same thing as they did for game number 1.
Especially regarding the bracket, like you want to keep saving, you want to conserve your strats. You don't want to show all your cards on the table just yet. And at the same time, like I would say Murad for My Brazil, it's okay. She definitely showed how strong she is on that hero. Or rather, I think Mamazita, it was a different player. Was it S9? S9 was playing the Murad, right? I think it is like prioritizing the pick phase right now, just picking the heroes up, the swap to the swap later on.
I can't remember who was the one that actually picked the Murad.
Okay, I mean, different ban this time, which they've actually added in is Talanis. We didn't see Talanis ban the last game.
Correct.
Not really picked. And considering how she's actually top tier.
Yeah, they banned Ryoma, they banned Nakrov as well. So
Omen. Oh?
Omen?
Really?
Understandable. Omen is fine. To be fair, Omen is fine.
I don't know, I actually disagree with you about that though. Like, I don't feel like Omen is... Does he need to ban it?
Omen is a really good Dark Slayer lane hero. Although the fact that there is still Florentino available on the board, but Omen, the ban of Omen, let's just say that the hero itself is understandable to be banned, but the hero for this game to be banned might not be the case. Because we can see Sephora going to the middle lane, or rather Varus in the middle lane even. So let's just say like, we take Sephora away from the equation. There still is a possibility for them, for the opponent side to actually pick Omen. But because there's already a Sephora, that means Sephora will be going to the middle lane, Varus will be at the Dark Slayer lane, then where does Omen go? So it's, in some sense, it's weird, but it's understandable at the same time. What they should prioritize banning on is probably more tank heroes or support heroes, which Mamazita doesn't have. Roxy is fine, Ibanez is fine, but in which case Ibanez has been picked up, so there really isn't much need.
I mean, for Nox's side, I actually feel like they do need to consider picking up the tank. If they're so indecisive and so afraid of getting into these fights first, just get the double tanks. You need that. Okay, Florentino. We were wondering where that hero is going to. Marlock also coming to the equation. I think this looks a bit better. At least they... No. Go back. Don't.
Wukong.
Go back. Don't pick the Wukong. Go back to the Florentino. You had a good thing going there. Don't mess it up.
Quillen is fine too, actually.
Quillen is fine, but not the Wukong. Like, go back. Yo.
We have the Monkey King.
Ah! Alright, they commit to the Wukong. We're gonna see some monkey.
Oh, you literally just add a name. Right,
yeah.
Okay. I just picked
I'm
that
just
up.
like, don't do it. Like, why would you do that? Alright. I give them benefit of the doubt. I mean, I guess it's something fresh. We'll see if Mamazita, they can draft accordingly to adapt to the Wukong and the Marlock pick. Alright, so looking at S9, what's gonna be her hero? S9, the last game, was so hard to catch. Actually, still going back into the Val.
Wukong's an interesting pick. Wukong really is an interesting pick. I thought that Marlock would be the one that actually goes to Dark Slayer lane now. Murad, Ibanez, Valheim. They like Valheim. We're pretty sure about that. Valheim, Valheim, Varus, Murad, and Sephira are the same hero that they played in the previous game, right?
Yes.
They're going to,
except for the tank, it's basically the same draft. So maybe they just want to experiment different tanks.
Yeah, I guess I guess there's really not much need for them to expose most of their lineups or how they play the game, but otherwise their hero composition and their laning phase should generally be the same. But in the meantime, Nox Lady, we do have a complete changeover. Beldam.
10 seconds remaining.
Lindis will be the one going to the jungle. Wukong is most likely going to the Dark Slayer lane. Marlock at the Abyssal Dragon lane. Illumia in mid. And Beldam will be joining with Illumia, making sure that, you know, Lindis can possibly farm better.
I like to think of this as Chaelin just showing them like this is how you play Varus, not the way you did. Because the last game Nox had the Varus and they didn't exactly shine with that hero.
Right.
In fact, she had minimal impact. So Chaelin, I mean, if you can style like that on that skill shot hero like Elsu, I would say with Varus it's slightly easier. So in this case, this is like saying, this is just them asserting dominance over Nox. But can Nox, just reject this? They're like, no, we don't recognize your dominance. Will they be like, let's get game 3, it's no problem. I mean, they did decide to go with the Wukong instead of Florentino, so...
Don't understand why. I really do not understand why. We'll see about that. We'll see why they choose Wukong. Or maybe, who knows, maybe Fang is really good at Wukong and not that sure about Florentino. So, we have that. I'm looking forward to seeing Richter in the games actually, but it does seem like Richter is one of those heroes that is constantly banned out. So, well, that's sad for me. Like, back then you want to see Elsu being picked up, now I just want to see Richter being picked up. He's a really great roamer. He's a really great hero for the Dark Slayer lane. Good farms. You can even go support hack. And even Enzo, the new hero, you can go for a support assassin as well. There's so many things, there's so many flexibility you can do in Arena of Valor. But most of the time we're just seeing the same meta heroes over and over again.
Alright, so now that we finally enter game 2, just quickly asking, I'll put you on the spot again.
Okay.
I know the last game you went with Nox.
Yep.
And we know how that went out.
Yep.
So, if you want to see a game 3, is this the part where you jinx Mamazita? Or is it because I mentioned it doesn't work? Are you going to give something, excuse like that?
Oh yeah, well, Custis Curse is always present, right? So let's just put it on the Mamazita for now.
You're going to jinx Mamazita?
Yeah, let's take a look at game 3.
I mean, I'm still taking Mamazita anyways. I'm not going to root for Nox just because of that. I mean, I feel like Mamazita still has the better draft.
That's true.
Nox's draft feels like it's all over the place. Like they have a bit of tank, you got a bit of damage, tiny bit of CC, but it's harder to execute. I felt like they should have gone back to Florentino just because I like drafts which are simple to execute. You go back to your foundation, simple to execute, and you know that the hero is already at a high tier. Wukong is not at that level yet. He's maybe like A at best. Maybe like if you have a player who specializes in the hero, you could kind of stick at the tier S. But otherwise, I'm not convinced by the Wukong pick.
Neither am I.
They had a good thing going. They should have. I still feel like they could have gone.
5 seconds.
What can they possibly do? Because the thing is, it does seem like Team Nox, their lineup is kind of slow. Whatever that they do will be pretty slow, but in the meantime, on Mamazita's side, their pace is a lot faster. We do have good utilities coming in from Sephira, Ibanez with decent damage, and well, the slippery assassin Murad, you pretty much could never ever touch him. And I'm thinking, is there actually anyone that can properly, counter Murad in this kind of moments? Because once you see Murad, he's just going to bring out Temporal Turbulence and away he goes. He's not going to be around the team fight anymore.
But you see, that's why I feel like that's why Nox, this is their counter to what Mamazita is doing. Like they already know that Temporal Turbulence is going to do so much, and S9 likes that hero. So if anything, their draft, the reason why I also say it's harder to execute is also because it's more like it's about sustained fights, it's about prolonged fights. And they have the stamina to keep these skirmishes going on from extended periods of time, but they do not have burst damage. maybe besides on Meijira's side, and Meijira, let's face it, last game, she had a couple of questionable jump-ins. And we'll see whether this game they can fix all of that.
We'll see.
See how this is going in right now. Chilling. Looks like they want to invade the jungle a little bit. After all, these level 1 skirmishes.
There's a pretty good wild charge coming in from Beldam, but no one is there to actually give him follow-ups. So this might actually turn out into a disaster.
You see, this is exactly how Nox should have started in the previous game, which is what Mamazita is doing now. You see, the 3 heroes, they just go in no hesitation, and when they realize that, hey, this is just a tank, they back out. This is clear and concise calls. Compared to like Nox, they're just like I said, just going back and forth constantly, nothing really happening. But now, Chailing, is he happily pushing out the wave already? You can tell there's a bit more efficiency. Doesn't really want to get too close, playing a bit too passive, worried about My Brazil, even though on the Sephara she hasn't been doing much. And this is where they start to invade the jungle. Resources kind of take over the map a little bit. They're trying to save the resource, but I don't think they can, man.
They're trying to deny more farm coming from Lindis, but in moment of time,
coming in. Here comes the cavalry.
Marlock comes in, Wall of Water coming in from
Shaylin.
Sephra. Really good kills coming in from Valheim. That's one down onto Beldam, so it becomes a 3v3. But Varus have to make herself back, bring herself back home due to the fact that HP is too low. Majora seems a little bit slow on the uptake. I think he was just farming around this area previously just now, but at least they don't lose more heroes than Beldam, because Beldam is the tank after all. It is fine for him to, you know, die a couple of times as long as Lindis don't die, right?
Was trying for the snipe. And I was actually going to point out as well that while that skirmish was happening early on around the bottom part of the map, you had S9 who was clearing out the jungle, and now he has the level advantage. I feel like this is where this the S9 show again. Look at that.
Goodbye.
First blood. Alright, Oliver, Beldam, well, I guess that's another kill, right?
Yep.
I mean, you're tanky, but you're not that tanky, especially when you're surrounded by 3 heroes.
That is right. So Sephra is just going to bring down that man down. Currently 3.7k against 5.
Going for the Abyssal Dragon very early on as well. So they should be able to take this one for free. Extending their goal lead, and already you can see the Nox.
Mamazita has been on quite a roll, 0 against 3. And now they're going to invade the jungle again! And Lindis! There's absolutely no way that Lindis could do anything at this point of time, and Illumia is still around the vicinity. He's just going to go straight down to Nature's Realm, just going to be activated coming in from Yiboneth, and the damage goes down. Varus gets a kill onto Illumia. Wukong couldn't even do anything but just do a little bit of shuffle stepping. Just running around, really. Couldn't really do anything. Yiboneth could. Branching out, Nature's Realm, but Wukong
and you can
around.
see that Wukong. I mean, Wukong, unless you're crazy farm, you can't really like just burst heroes down unless you have like high right click DPS, right? So right now you can already tell that maybe Florentino was the better option, but now in hindsight, what can you do? When you pick up the hero, you just have to stick to the plan. You can see he tried to solo kill like My Brazil at the backline the whole time, and couldn't even get her close to even like 25% HP. And then she was just running around, nothing he can do, and after she just chose to give up. They're just so far behind right now. I actually start to worry for them as they are running out of time. Look at that, Beldam. I'm not even sure why your tank is all the way at the back line. It doesn't make any sense to me. It feels like she's not comfortable on the hero at all.
It does seem like it. It's just rotating back and forth. But it does seem like Beldam does have, you know, a little bit of scouting capabilities, but not that much. Doesn't want to overextend himself too much at this point of time, especially since they are low on gold, low in experience. They are clearly at a disadvantage. What they got to do is congregate together and try to get more kills. As you can see right now, it's going to be 3v3. And Sephra, I believe, used Tide of Life. Did she actually use Tide of Life?
That is discipline. Not overcommitting.
And
maybe
also
the top, man.
burning an outfit. And here we have another invasion coming in from My Brazil and Chaylin. They want the kill right onto Lindis. What exactly can he do at this point of time? The beautiful Wild Prison coming in straight from Beldam, and it's going to be an all-out 4v3 initiation. We do have the Wall of Water just going to catch up Lindis. Lindis down. Pocket Glaives coming straight in from Valheim, brings him down, and Beldam says bye-bye. Double kill for them, and now that is quite a high amount of gold deficit. The turret is going down, more objective kills. Sage Golem is down. The map control and the map presence coming in from Team Mamazita is overwhelming.
The side lanes have already been destroyed, so they have the map control, obviously, and not a single kill yet on the scoreboard for Nox. And they will, Mamazita will look to play for the mid turret. S9 gonna jump in. Okay, he doesn't care. This is what he does.
Literally don't care. But a really good defense coming in
Such
from
elusive
Team Nox. That is discipline after all. I'm pretty sure that Mamazita could fight back against Team Nox, but they don't want to under the nose of the turret.
This is the S9 show. This is just the S9 show.
What can they possibly do? This is going to be an utter disaster. Wild
Wukong
Prison
still
has
trying
been
to find top.
wrongly used, and now there is one ultimate down. It's going to be extremely
Chaelin.
bad. Varus just coming in for a little bit of lifesteal. Look at the damage and lifesteal coming in from Varus. Will be able to just completely annihilate Illumia. And just like that, I think the middle lane is gonna go down. Bottom lane just needs a little bit more
Probably more
touchy.
NHC. What are you doing there?
No,
Valheim actually almost gets the kill with the pocket glyph, and alright, so this should be another turret.
Mental of Ra is going
Wukong
to be
thinks about
activated.
coming in. Fang going in for the 1v3. We saw this the last time.
Wukong
Same
actually
case,
doesn't
same
have.
scenario.
Wukong actually doesn't have much items at this point of time. I don't think that he should join in the team fight at this moment. of
Veldum
time.
trying for the initiation.
Wall of Water followed by the Spring of Life, and we do have the Nature's Realm going to be activated by Yibaneth. But with no conclusion. The
Ow.
only conclusion that we have is Murad is stomping over his enemies.
I mean,
Level 10.
Wukong still trying to find Star, but Juke shoes on. Runs away to safety. Should be able to get point back to base. Well, that's
Wukong.
unfortunate. You can't even find anything. It looks like whatever could have gone wrong in this game has already gone wrong.
I don't know.
You need a miracle right now.
Yeah, I think you kind of need a little bit more
The
than
Abyssal
just
Dragon also fallen.
Abyssal
So-
Dragon Fallen. Yes, they do not have the
And
map
Hazy,
control
get
as well. The Might Golem most definitely will go to Murad, but he cannot kill the Might
S9
Golem.
out.
Temporal Turbulence coming in. That is Murad, ladies and gentlemen. And you can't kill the Might Golem. If you kill the Might Golem, you don't have any more Temporal Turbulence to go into the middle
But fighting
lane.
in the middle lane one more time. Does S9 want to go back in?
What do they care at this point of time? Rank breaker coming in from Murad. It is going to be bad. It is going to be very, very bad. 4.9k gold onto Murad's head, and the highest net worth from Team Nox is going to be Wukong with 3.3k with the Clave Sancti. Just one item. And that is... This is going to be a...
Oh, looks like
shit
Rose
show.
may have been caught off guard.
Completely down. We do have the Nature's Realm going to be activated by Yibaneth as well. We got low HP coming from Marlock as well as Illumia. All three men down. We still have Lindis right around the corner trying to get himself away, but she was actually in the bushes just now, so she does have a slight sprint for herself, getting herself out of that danger. Top lane turret is down. It's going to be left with middle lane and bottom lane, and I really don't see any way for Nox Lady to win this fight, especially since they do not have any jungles, they don't have proper control.
Oh, they want to go back in.
Yeah.
My Brazil and Chaelin.
That is-
Varus needs to find
gotta do
initiation.
that.
Misses the skill shot. Trying to go for the golem
Go for
buff.
two
They
more
should be
hits.
able to get this
One more hit.
But it's a 3v2. Mamazita, they need to get out. Chaelin. she
Good
has to
Wild
come in.
Prison. A really nice Wild Prison coming in.
My
And
Brazil.
was able to isolate
Probably
Sephra
about
all
to
for
die here
herself.
as well.
That is right. I'm pretty sure that she's gonna die. 4 men onto 1. They finally managed to bring Varus and Sephra down. Now they're just going to bring it down a little bit more rotation down to the middle lane.
But this is where they turn. S9. Her break is over. She's going back in. Overwhelming amounts of DPS and Olive.
they have to find a
Sliced
way.
and diced.
They have to find a way to actually bring Murad down.
When was the last time we saw the Wukong? Level 10, most farmed hero on her team, but
4.9k. I think that was about a minute ago when we were talking about the fact that Wukong was the highest farmer with Clave Sancti. Now he bought a 6th thing. So 2 items down, 1 more item to go for Wukong to actually be relevant. But in the meantime, for Murad, all he has is a rank breaker. So that is interesting. He does have the Soul Reaver, so that is one thing different from his build and Wukong. So most of the most of the gold goes to the rank breaker and the Soul Reaver.
Olive. Hold
Look at
out.
Drake coming down to the middle lane.
Charges
Wall
away,
charge is
so it will be
used.
fine.
Here we have Murad just gonna go straight in. The damage coming to Temporal Turbulence, just bring down Illumia's HP all the way from 100 to 10. Just there's absolutely no way that they can do anything. Now they was able to isolate one man down, so it's going to be a 3v5, 3v4 at this moment of time. But the Drake's still around. The nature's round damage is just way too high. Right onto Marlock, down he goes. It's just left with Illumia as well.
Actually down to the turret.
How
S9,
can
diving.
Lindis couldn't do anything at all. And the middle lane goes down. Wukong is still available and around the corner. He has to do something, but got stunned by the wall of water. And I believe the tides of time is still available. Wukong, take a look at Wukong, trying to get himself out of all that danger. He wasn't even able to defend his core. And just like that, we have a 2-0 game coming in from Team Mamazita.
I mean, you're probably wondering as well, where was the Wukong the whole time? But that's because Varus actually cancelled that point over and over. So that's why, you know, they stalled for so much time, and this way, there was just good communication all around, good decision. This is also why Mamazita could afford to just dive behind the tower without a care in the world. So 20-4, one-sided game. Unfortunate for Nox, but well played to Mamazita. They showed that they were the stronger team by 1,000 miles. Not even kidding. Like, that was very one-sided.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like it goes down to the same thing, which I mentioned from the draft, is stick to heroes which are easy to execute, go with a simple game plan. Like, we could see that 2 heroes in Urban 3v3, they were very smart. The resource distribution was just so perfectly well done. S9 had the whole jungle to herself, comes in with 2-level advantage, comes in, controls the mid game, creates enough space for Star. But Nox, instead of playing too reactive, they need to be the ones actually setting the tempo of the game in future.
Well, all I know is that Beldam has been really moving around and a lot of wasted movements. They wasn't able to isolate one single hero, although Beldam was able to bring down, was able to isolate one man or two in his Wild Prism at the later part of the game. But at the point of time, they do not have enough net worth to actually bring down a single hero. So their comeback isn't really a comeback. They needed a little bit more time. But it does seem like Mamazita doesn't want to give them any time. They just went straight for the core and ended before anything else gets ugly.
I mean, there was also this, I feel like a wasted combo which they probably should have pulled out a lot more, was playing around the duo of the Marlock and Beldam. Just because you have these 2 tanky heroes where they have sustained damage, but combined together is actually quite a lot. And especially against like Sephara. I think that could have been okay, but they never really did that. It was always like 1 by 1, and it's like buy 1 get 1 free to Mamazita perspective. And at the same time, like Majira, you know, she's trying to go for she's trying to be that solo DPS with that 1 tank. But I'm not sure why. Is it the way Mamazita is playing, or it's just like Nox? There always feels to be a huge shortage of DPS very early on at the level 1 stage.
Well, all in all, I myself also am not too sure what brought Mamazita to win in such a wide margin. All I know is Sephara, being the support that she is, was able to bring down quite a lot of utility, and so far I believe that Sephara was pretty much the anchor of the team, making sure that Murad was able to farm well. They have good map control. In fact, their rotations, Mamazita's rotation is actually pretty good. All I gotta say is that they got Varus coming. Varus has been in middle lane most of the time. We got Valheim, even though he is a marksman, he still managed to go for decent rotations. Goes down for kills because they need that utility coming from the pocket glaives. Random 2-second stun, random stuns and proper stuns from for himself. So, well, all in all, I just think that Mamazita can possibly go straight up to the final games, looking at how they played for this one.
I mean, it's still early to tell, and don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, we still have a couple more series for you up on this stream. Don't forget to check it out. And we have the next game of Huna versus Mike X Bear. I'm Hades, this is Abstract. We'll be taking a quick break. We'll see you guys for the next best of 3. See you in a bit.